Okay, ready?
Third time lucky.
Hello and welcome to Over the Lift Hill and another episode of Off the Rails. Today I'm joined by Matt.
Good evening, everybody.
And Sanya.
Hi, everyone.
And Billy.
Hey.
And if you don't know who I am Dan, and together we are Over the Lift Hill. We're going to be talking about a couple of things today, actually. We're going to be talking about what the theme park season has brought us so far. Obviously, we're almost a month in. We're going to be talking about, our experiences and highlights, things we're looking forward to. And of course, we've got to talk about new attractions that are coming. And that includes the reopening of indoor attractions on 17th of May, which is very close now. We'll also be talking about some speculation about some new attractions that could be coming to our parks very soon. But first of all, how is everyone doing? Matt, are you doing good?
I'm very well, thank you, Dan. It's been a very, very long time since since I've been to a park. So I'm just counting down the days until they open, or not they open again, but the new attractions open again. And I cannot wait to get back there and try out all the new offerings.
Brilliant. And you, Sanya, how you been?
Yeah, same with me, the last time I went to a park was with you and Matt, was at Alton Towers, and then we went to Thorpe on the 12th. So it'd be nice to get back onto some newer attractions, I think. I want to do Blackpool next, definitely.
Definitely. And Billy, you been up to much?
Not much. I went to Blackpool on the 12th. It was an awesome time, and I'm just ready to go to Drayton Manor next week, and then Owen Towers the week after to experience Gangster Granny, the ride, and Mardi Gras.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is going to be really
It's
good.
going to be sick.
What are people's thoughts on Mardi Gras? I mean, because I know
I'm excited.
Do it.
I'm so excited.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's going to fit me very well. I think I'll fit in quite well there. So yeah, obviously me, Matt and Sanya went to Thorpe Park on opening day on the 12th of April. Guys, what were your thoughts? I thought it was brilliant.
It was amazing. Absolutely great. It was, I mean, the weather was a little bit questionable.
Yeah, the weather wasn't great, was it? It was nice. It was bearable, but
yeah.
It was a wrap-up warm day, but I think the fact that we were able to get on the rides that we love and some of the best roller coasters in the country once again, it was just a great day, and to see so many familiar faces as well.
It was nice to catch up with people.
Yeah,
because it had been such a long time since we were even allowed out the house, pretty much because of the third lockdown. So when that 12th of April came, it was a lot of people went to the pub, but no, we knew where we were going straight.
Well, we did go to the pub as well.
We did afterwards.
Yeah.
But first of all, first on the agenda, it's got to be a theme park.
Priorities.
No, it was good. That was a good couple of days. And then obviously we went to Alton Towers the next day. You would have seen if you watched our brilliant vlog, which Matt so very well edited. So well done, Matt.
Thank you very much.
We had a blast filming that, and keep your eyes out, guys, because there's a lot more.
There's a lot more coming.
Yes, there is. Some exciting stuff coming. So let's talk about what's happening at the time of this recording, 5 days' time. We've got the reopening of indoor attractions. So we're going to have things like Hex reopening, Jewel, Derren Brown's Ghost Train, which you all know has a very, very close place in my heart. The Walking Dead is going to be opening. And of course, we cannot miss Gangsta Granny, the ride, and Black Mirror Labyrinth. I mean, I know it's a bit of a dodgy question to ask, but we'll start with you, Billy. Which attraction are you most looking forward to opening out of those two?
Personally, it's Gangsta Granny, because I feel like it will be the closest thing we have in the UK to a Disney-style dark ride. By the looks of the little teasers they've given us on YouTube and on Facebook, it feels a lot like a Disney ride. Obviously not up to the high standard of Disney. But yeah, I'm really excited for it, and also I really enjoyed the book, so I think that's going to be, I mean, when I go, I'm going to go straight to it and go on it. And then Black Mirror, I'm also excited for, but I'm also quite curious about, because I wonder what it's actually going to be like, and like the way it's going to be set out.
What about you, Sanya?
Mine, I have a very similar opinion to Billy. I'm going to say Gangster Granny. I am biased though, because I do have a soft spot for towers. But yeah, no, it's just something different. We haven't really got anything like it. And yeah, it's definitely going to be the first ride I go to when I go to towers in 2 weeks' time. Definitely.
It's good to have a dark ride at towers again.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah.
To help on the rainy days.
What about you, Matt?
I think I'm going to have to make it a hat trick here. I cannot wait for Gangster Granny. Just like Billy said. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Black Mirror. I love the series. But the fact that we don't know what's going to happen in there. We don't know at all what's going to go on. So, that has got me curious. But at the same time, with what Towers have done in releasing the teasers and sort of the content that they've brought out with David Walliams, it's made me think, this is going to be a really well done ride, and the theming looks incredible all throughout the area. In terms of the ride, I'm more excited for Gangster Granny, but I am so intrigued to see what on earth Thorpe Park have done with Black Mirror.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I am looking forward to Gangster Granny, but you all know, for obvious reasons, I can't wait for Black Mirror. The mystery element. I mean, we kind of know what's going to happen on Gangster Granny. You're going to get on it, you're going to go around, you're going to see the crown jewels. There's going to be all sorts of smells and interactive stuff, which is great. And I think, parks in the UK need more of that. Like you said, Billy, more of a Disneyland style attraction.
Yeah.
But all of you that know me and the kind of person I'm one of those people that will throw themselves into the unknown at the drop of a hat. So the mysterious element of what is going to happen when we go into Black Mirror, that is overriding me at the moment. So I know that I'm definitely more excited about Black Mirror than I am Gangster Granny. Don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be, both of them are going to be brilliant. But I am just really interested. I mean, a lot of work has gone into Black Mirror. Just as much as it has into Gangster Granny, don't get me wrong. But just seeing, at the park, the new signage, seeing everything up, and things going on around the area, it's definitely, for some reason, got me more hyped. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't get me wrong, I cannot wait to get on Gangster Granny. Any new attraction is right up my street. But this one, I'm gonna be the black sheep of the family. I'm gonna say I'm looking for Black Mirror.
They've both been in the works now. Look at had improvements. It's been 2 years.
They should have both opened last year.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to have known what they were like back then, and if they had made any changes since then.
Yeah.
I believe they would have. I think they would have looked at it and see that they could, change certain things and be like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, and then make this little part better.
A lot of attractions do that these days. I mean, look at Derren Brown. Have you ever been on it? Have you ever been on it one year and it's been exactly the same the next year?
No,
it doesn't happen. So I think, having that kind of versatility within attractions is important.
I think there's more room for sort of the changes within Black Mirror, particularly because sort of we know that Gangster Granny was ready to go last year. The ride system was in place, or pretty much all the theming and that was done. So I feel like that was fine. But in terms of Black Mirror, will they have made adjustments to the ride in order to make sure it opens in a COVID safe way? That's what I've been thinking about.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, there's more that they can play about with Black Mirror, because Gangster Granny's a book. It's been written, it's done. That's how it is. The ride is there, the storyline is there. Black Mirror is, is ever changing. There's new episodes coming out. There's all sorts. They can change. Say this year. Obviously, I don't know, just to confirm that, but they could have, the first few months, they could have it from the first season themed around it. Obviously, we don't know what's going to go on in there. We don't know if it's going to be themed around just the IP of Black Mirror, or if there's going to be hints and little things in it. My honest opinion, what I think it's going to be, is they are just running with the futuristic element of it. And it's not going to be based on Black Mirror as such, but it's going to have that feel to it. That's where I'm kind of looking at.
Yeah, I think it's going to be completely different to any of the episodes. I think they're going to try and do something completely make it have the familiar aspect of Black Mirror and what it's about, but because obviously as well it's a physical experience, so they can do whatever they like really with current restrictions as well in place, but they can literally do whatever. So
I think it's interesting. Like I've been looking at just David Williams, the section in Alton Towers, just from a business point of view. It's such a good move for Towers, because like Towers, it's like a all-encompassing park. You've got your things for the thrill seekers, you've got the family. I think they've got SeaBees Land for like your younger toddlers, and then they've got, you know, things like the Smiler and Oblivion for like your thrill seekers.
Well, yeah, like look at Topanga Canyon as well. That's a family area.
Yeah, and like
that's true.
This David Williams area hits the market in the middle for like slightly older children, and I think they did that really well. They've really outdone themselves with that.
I think it's good as well because they've given a new lease of life to an area that was kind of just going downhill for ages. So I think that's a good thing to see as well.
It was the area before was when it first opened, it looked really, really bright and shiny. It was like the fact that it's in the corner and it was out of the way. And when SeaBees Land came, that was as soon as you walked into the park. So the families were like, they almost treat SeaBees Land as its own park.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at when we met Francis the other week. He said, "Let's go to SeaBees Land." You know, they don't refer to it as "Let's go to SeaBees Land" area. It is like, and I think Polton's has that same approach as well. Peppa Pig World, you know, Polton's Park, home of Peppa Pig World, was a great way of doing that. But the only problem is the amount of people that they get call them up and message them all the time saying, "Does my ticket include Peppa Pig World?" You know, yes, it does. It's just part of the park. People honestly think that it's a separate park. Merlin are opening this new park, aren't they? It's an actual Peppa Pig theme park.
Yeah.
And that is a separate gated attraction, whereas this isn't. This is it's a subsection of an existing theme park.
Do you think this new Peppa Pig theme park would have opened if Bolton's Park didn't get the success that it got with Peppa Pig World?
Oh, definitely not.
Never in a million years.
No.
Never in a million years.
I mean,
it was a perfect natural experiment for Merlin to see how a market. I mean, obviously the markets are different in the UK and in Florida, but the fact that it went down so well in this country, and that's what most people, or before Storm Chaser, that's what most people knew Polton's for.
Yeah, I mean,
they were like, let's do it.
Yeah.
There's people came across the whole of the globe to go to Peppa Pig World.
Oh God,
yeah. There'll be people from any country.
In literally every single country in the world, it's known. And I think that any park that wants to use that as an IP is thinking very cleverly. Obviously, you look at the theme parks. I mean, like the Thorpe Park, they've done the Lionsgate deal. Lionsgate at the time was massive, and bringing Soar in was a massive benefit to the park. These days, Lionsgate, I mean, and it got them loads of stuff. Obviously, it got them all the, you know, the mazes and stuff like that. These days, you don't really see much of it at that park, and or at any park, you don't see so much themed stuff. I think the most latest themed thing at Thorpe Park was The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, Gangsta Granny's arriving. That's opened a new can of worms. I think IPs in theme parks died off. I think this could be the revitalization of it. Hopefully.
I personally think that IPs work better for children-based attractions like SeaBees Land, Thomas Land.
I agree with that.
Because obviously all the parents can say, "Oh, look at this, we can go this," because like SeaBees, Thomas the Tank Engine, all of them have been with children throughout the years, and they will keep on being with children throughout the years, and they'll keep on changing. So working with IPs and for a children's brand, it works so well. But when it comes to like more adult things, it's kind of because like people will just lose interest after a while and be like, I don't really want to do that.
From a marketing standpoint, it's if you think about all the big coasters at Towers and all the big coasters at Thorpe, the only one which has an IP is Soar. All the others are original themes, but it's because people they don't go on a roller coaster because it's themed for something. They go on it because it's this class experience that you can't get by doing anything else. and that's why I completely agree with you, Billy, that it gets the families on board by seeing a name that they know their kids love.
I mean, I think so. I think Saw.
Well, I know these kids like the name Saw. Oh, Jesus.
I think the Saw IP works the most out of any like adult themed IP because they've got such a good core fan base to the Saw films. I mean, I'm not a massive fan to them.
If the Smiler had an IP?
No.
Rather not.
Nah.
I don't want to.
I don't want to. That's horrible. That is not. I do not want to know that.
Do you think it would have changed the experience of the ride?
It would have, because we wouldn't have had the Sanctuary maze, most likely, if it was an IP, and the Sanctuary was fantastic.
The theme is so iconic to the Smiler. You can't get rid of it.
The theme song, the marketing would have just been the same.
Song. Anyone that goes to theme parks will know
it.
Yeah.
It was marketed beautifully, the Smiler.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
It has such an iconic logo, and I think if it was an IP, it wouldn't have been the same. Because the Smiler has such a little fan. I mean, I'm a part of it, but I have such a little fan club of people.
They have a little fan club.
Because I'm one of those people that turns up at the parks with the little woolly hats on and the yellow jumpers.
I've got
so
Smiler
many people who have that though when coming in.
I mean, I think it's because obviously it's since I'd say that's the biggest roller coaster that's been in the UK, apart from Nemesis, that's got such a big attraction to it. And obviously, like for me personally, it was the major roller coaster that got me into like in the theme parks. It was the first roller coaster.
It is a brilliant ride.
I went upside
when
down.
We went the other week, we said it was so different to what it had been like when we've been on it before, because we must have gone on a really good day, because there were some really beep moments when we went on it the other week. Sanya must have shouted out about 50 expletives in the space of 5 minutes.
Which, may I just say, made the editing the vlog very difficult.
But no, it was the hang time and the air time were just completely. I don't think I'd ever felt hang time before I'd felt what we felt on the Smiler that day. When we went through those, especially those inversions coming in and out of the airtime, that was absolutely insane. At one point, me and Sandy turned to each other and we honestly thought we were rolling backwards at one point.
I honestly thought we would.
Yeah. The first time it happened, we all kind of thought, oh my God, and it was such, but the thing is, that was the kind of feeling that made me want to go back on it.
Yeah. And
I think that's because we sat at the back. When we went at the front, we didn't really feel that.
Yeah, exactly. So, to a lesser extent, just physics. Because of physics, we'll leave Coasterbot to talk about that. But but it was just that it made that those rides on the Smiler were sort of. I know last season was amazing, but I think it took another step this year.
It topped it. That was probably the best ride I've ever had. Really
on the Smiler? No.
In general?
In general, yeah. I enjoyed it that much. I got a bit of a shoulder bashing, but for that hang time, that at the moment, and we all know that my rankings change on a regular basis, that was up there. It really was. Just those moments of the old crap moments were absolutely brilliant, and I love that.
The only time I've ever felt hang like that was Icon Barrel Roll. That's the only time I've ever felt anything quite like it.
When you go on the Icon Barrel Roll, does it give you that kind of same heart sinking feeling that you get when you
feel like you're going to fall?
It's
your heart stops. You know what I mean?
The barrel roll is quite. I remember the first time I went on Icon, I was like, this is not normal. When it went through the barrel roll, I was like, what's going on? Because you literally do feel like you're going to either fall out or just go backwards.
That's next on my list, definitely.
Yeah, we've got to do that. That will be brilliant.
I've been on that and the Smiler the most of any coaster I've been in the country. Both of them.
They're two good ones to have.
I mean, open day I went on Icon 5 times, so
Yeah. So let's just have a little talk about our highlights from the season so far. I know it's only been about coming up to a month in a couple of weeks. But let's talk about our experiences that we've had so far. So those of you that watch our channel, you'd know that me, Matt and Tanya went to Thorpe Park and Alton Towers. Guys, I know we've spoken about it already, but just how good was it?
Pucker, absolutely.
I mean, I for me, I'm probably going to get hung, but I preferred Alton Towers, to be honest.
No, I was going to say, I definitely preferred Towers.
Well, of course you'd say that.
No, but this is genuinely like, we had so many good runs on the Smiler and on Wicker Man. Those two were incredible.
And don't forget, Oblivion was pretty good as well.
I mean, they were all
Wicker
good.
Man and Smiler really stood out that day.
Yes.
Although Thorpe Park was great because obviously we got to meet up with everyone and, you know, we got to catch up with, you know, the usual suspects. But just interacting with people, I think, was what made that day so special. You know, and I think that's what, when people talk about theme park community and stuff like that, it doesn't exist online. It doesn't exist on Twitter and all this kind of stuff. People that are, I'm in the theme park community because I've got Twitter and I comment on all the stuff and all that. No, theme park community is when you go into a park and you do like we did with Sam, Dylan, and Deck, and Jack, Kieran, Archie, all that kind of stuff. When you actually meet people, when you talk to them, and you're actually engaging with people in person, that is what community spirit is about. And we had such a night, and that made our day. And I speak on both of your hearts when I say that made our day that day. Interacting with people, it's just so important. And I think, in a way, I feel humbled that we have that experience because we are theme park fans, we are enthusiasts, but we don't need to do all that other stuff because we've got other people, and that made it. The ride at Alton Towers, though, absolutely smashed it out of the park. That was that was so good. Billy, you went to Blackpool, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
How was it?
It was great. I mean, obviously, usually that's the first park to open out of any park in the UK, so all the enthusiasts go in, have a session at Wetherspoons and go into the park all hungover, but that wasn't the case this year. And the weather was beautiful. I think it was just the atmosphere that made it for me. Obviously, getting back on my favourite coaster in the UK, Icon, was great. Getting on the retract, going on Big One with its retrack was great.
Did it make much difference?
Yeah, it's improved quite a lot. The places that they've done nearer to the end of the coaster, I remember it used to be very, very rough out. It was just horrible, but because of the retrack, it's running smooth. Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's smooth, but it's running a lot better than it has been.
A lot less painful.
Yeah, a lot less painful. Yeah. But yeah, I think personally for me it was just the atmosphere because the sun was out. The queues weren't really that big. So I've gotten pretty much everything that I wanted to get on, including Icon 5 times. Yeah, I think it was just the atmosphere. Saw Big Mandy Thompson chilling as well. So it was good.
Finally, we need to talk about the obvious thing, which is Chessington has announced they're going to be doing a public consultation for a new roller coaster. Yeah. Obviously, we've seen that on some of the pictures. There's like a quad bikey looking thing. Has anyone else seen that?
Yeah.
Do we think that that is actually going to be what it is?
I think. I mean, my dream would be to have it as a water coaster because I remember that there was a pirate themed water coaster. And I think that would just do well because obviously most of Chessington, because like the quad bike was all jungle themed. That's Chessington in general was all like jungle themed, animal themed. So I think a pirate thing would, you know, add a bit of variety to the overall theming of the park. And I just think a water coaster would just be great. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think from the promotional pictures on the consultation and stuff like that, where we saw that quad bike, just having it naturey, animally themed or jungle themed, like you said, pirate theme would go very well. I'd much rather see something that fits the kind of wild theme of the park, because it's Britain's wildest adventure. Yeah, it is, and that is a good slogan, but I think they need something that is truly wild, to be honest. They need something that is going to be crazy.
Maybe a family RMC that they've announced. The new family.
Well, yes,
RMC.
we must talk about that as well because, you know, obviously there is going to be we don't know where it's going, but we know there is an RMC family coaster coming.
Yeah.
We know that.
Might not even be in the UK, but if
Yeah,
it
that's
was,
true.
then
Yeah.
would it
Exactly.
fit well
So
at
we
Chessington?
can't really speculate that it is going to go to Chessington or it is going to come to the UK. But I mean, what are people's? Do you think it would fit Chessington?
Yeah.
I think so, definitely.
I think it would more
Matt's
fit.
face is telling me other. Well, Matt's like kind of got this look
Matt?
on his face.
I think it would more fit Portland's, but I think Chessington would do it.
Chessington or
Oh
Portland?
well, I
definitely.
know there's speculation and rumours going about at the moment that there is, there is new stuff coming to
Chessington.
Portland. We know there's maybe a Vekoma family coaster coming to Portland. Obviously, they have announced that there is this aircraft-themed ride coming.
Yeah.
Which I did see construction going on when I visited, and obviously it's very early stages. But could that Vekoma be going in there? There's also speculation going around that there is going to be a massive coaster coming very soon to Bolton's as well. So we don't know what, some people are saying it's going to be a launch coaster. I'm not 100% convinced. But
Velocicoaster.
well, you never know. I know Matt did want to talk about Velocicoaster, but we'll
He did.
hold him off right just for a minute. This RMC, it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm talking globally. Where do we think it should go?
Well, for me,
Here.
we took a bit of a divergence there, but I can't see it going to Chessington because, first of all, we don't know what the ride type's going to be like. Because obviously, it's not going to be inversions, but if it's going to have that sort of that outer bank, the sort of the wave turn, kind of the classic RMC staple, but on a smaller scale. I don't know if that would work at Chessington.
You've got to think about the amount of land that they've got, because we know where it's going.
Would a family RMC fit along with, because there was mention of multiple, I think they said children's rides on the press release.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sold on whether that would be a family RMC. But in the world perspective, I think the easy answer would to be go for Cedar Point or go for Energylandia or go for a park that has got RMCs. Maybe would like another one for the kids, but
you got to ask yourself the question as well: are there any RMCs already in the UK?
Nope.
Yeah.
So why would they suddenly want to add one?
I mean, true. I mean, I just think there's been such a thing about RMCs because obviously the nearest one to here is in Walibi, Holland. But I think it'd just be a good addition to UK coasters in general, having like a hybrid style coaster. So I think we should get one.
Yeah.
But I would personally much rather see a larger scale one than a family one.
Go on, Matt. I know you want to spin your wheel about Velocicoaster. Go for it.
It's not just Velocicoaster, but Velocicoaster, KONDAA. They both look.
Oh, KONDAA! Oh my god!
And
all right, you two, calm down.
This year,
I'm an intermittent fanboy, so
who isn't Billy? But it's just they both look so good for different reasons, and it makes you think. Yeah, I mean, obviously last year was hell, but it means we get sort of a double bubble of new rides this year because like Abyssus looks insane, and
as
well,
Abyssus looks so good. I mean, I've watched the POV for that so many times now. It looks incredible.
I'm quite surprised at how well themed KONDAA is. Like when I saw the images of it, I was like, they've actually done quite a good job of it. I thought it was just going to be like the coaster itself and then have like maybe a theme stage and that's it. But no, it looks quite good theming.
It's exciting. I'm desperate to get out there. I'd
most likely get on KONDAA before Velocicoaster because Belgium's not really far away.
Velocicoaster is top of my list.
I mean, same for me, but I just like logically, I'll be going to KONDAA first.
We need to get out there. I mean, we've done it in Roblox so many times.
That is true.
We might as well put ourselves in real life, go on the actual rides. So it's definitely something that I've got my eye on that we should be doing soon.
Definitely.
And we've got some great friends and connections at Universal anyway, so it'd be great to go and finally meet them. So that is definitely something we should do. But on that note, I think that brings us to the end of this episode.
Sure.
So I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's watched and has sat through God knows how long of us
waffling
about theme parks. And I want to thank you guys as well for, as always, being so enthusiastic and taking the time to have a chat. But it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from
And
me.
me.
No, these two just wanted to both say goodbye at the same
Yeah.
time. But no, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please do give us a like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you soon. See you later.
Bye. Adios.